What it do, YouTube? Is Coffee back at it, man. And Buckshot, Shorty Buckshot. What was that group called? Black Moon? Wasn't it Duck Down Records and all that? Remember Eminem said on that one track, if it wasn't whatever, I almost got signed to Duck Down. A lot of great acts on that group. Wasn't Helter Skelter over there? I remember they had that one joint where they sampled Redman's voice on the hook that I ain't having that. I ain't having that. Like, I miss in the late 90s, early 2000s, BET with Rap City and hits and just all those different shows, right? You got the popular music that was getting spins and radio rotation and whatnot, but they would still have like hip hop that was semi underground in a sense, getting on BET and getting some airplay and stuff. But it's a different day nowadays. It's all about streaming and whatnot. You know what I mean? But Buckshot, what Black Moon, yeah, and I think at one point in time they changed the name to War Zone or something like that. Maybe I'm bugging, but he was assaulted. It hit the news lately, and apparently it was ugly. It was bad. Like, I was hearing reports he was fighting for his life, or they ain't know how it was gonna go. But it seems he's online giving people an update here, saying to all my friends, fans, and supporters, thank you for reaching out during this difficult time. Recently, I was the victim of a violent assault involving multiple individuals armed with weapons, including handguns. This attack stems from an ongoing dispute over my property where I am the rightful owner, but have faced issues with unauthorized occupants who escalated the situation to violence. As someone who's been an entertainer and part of this community for over 30 years, I am deeply disturbed that such an incident could happen in New York, a city I love and call home. Violence like this has no place here, and I'm calling for everyone to come together to make New York safer and better for all of us. I am currently recovering from my injuries and working closely with my legal team and law enforcement to ensure this matter is handled properly. We are committed to seeing justice served, and I ask for your patience and support as the legal process unfolds. Now, let's stop right there and point out, you heard him talking about his legal team. There's a property dispute. Like, this is wild, where individuals squatting at his crib or like a property that he owns. You know what I mean? Trying to get him up out of there, and it went down. Like, wow-ish, like that happens, man. Individuals who try to take a property over. I don't know if that's exactly what happened here. But I believe, what do you say, seeing justice served, recovering from my injuries. Like, so what I'm getting at is there people going to call Buckshot a snitch? Listen, I say this all the time, right? Because this comes up so much. Like, we were just talking about this the other day with Spider Low getting at T.I. with the Young Thug plea, and Thugger coming home and linking up with T.I. and, a situation with that. These are dudes that are on that gang-ish and all that, right? Remember, T.I. was, I'm a 7-time felon, what I care about a case. You know what I mean? And it's like, not everyone, I point that out all the time, that like, you only get called a snitch, a rat, etc. if you're claiming you're about that lifestyle, or you sell one of your bros up the river. You know what I mean? Like, this is a individual who is a rapper. He owns properties. He's conducting business, and some bull-ish went down, and he was hurt badly. You know what I mean? So I always tell y'all, I'm a square, I'm a nerd, and I think that's ignorant. That, like, sometimes people act like all rappers got to be held accountable to this. Like, Star and Buck Wild, Shot 97, the Star Report. I always like he's all about roasting people and going in on people, and he's got jokes, and he'll be ignorant as fuck and all that. When it comes to telling and stuff like that, like, there was a dude one time calling in about Drake telling, and he was saying like, yo, this is Drake we're talking about. Like, obviously Drake is a big rapper, you know what I mean? But like, I don't think Drake was ever claiming to be about that life. He was like, not everyone gets held to the snitch standards, I don't think. You know what I'm saying? But he said, and again, thank you For all the well wishes, let's put an end to violence and help rebuild a stronger, safer New York. Sincerely, Kenyatta Blake, aka Buckshot of Black Moon. So you hear him. He loves his city of New York. He wants to see a safer New York. Let's also just point out too that a lot of people, even if they were in them streets or whatever at one point in their life, you grow up, you mature, you change. You know what I'm saying? You ain't running around on the same bull issue you were on when you were a teenager and in your 20s. When you get older, I don't know Buckshot's age, but I know he ain't no spring chicken because he was, around when I was a youngster. You know what I'm saying? But I just think that's whack and everything. That like hip hop is like, listen, hip hop is a strong thing. It reaches people from all walks of life, and when people make it where it's like, yo, like you got to be on some street ish. You know what I mean? You got to everyone got to be living that lifestyle, like ready to die, can't tell on no one. You see what he's talking about. He wants to see the city that he lives in and loves and calls home and hails from to be a better city, a better New York, right? Let's see what people are seeing in the comments. I wonder if we'll see anyone talking that ish. Ice-T, a bunch of fists and the king emoji. You see Questlove praying. Maria, aka Tiptoe, shout out to her. I fuck with her, man. She loves hip hop and she loves to talk about it and all that. She says, please take care of yourself and take your time getting better. We still will be praying for you. God bless. Buckshot, Boom Bap Nation praying. Royce and DJ EFN are on there. Wish you a speedy recovery. Premium Pete, I used to listen to his podcast. Biggest of love, light, and prayers and blessings. Buck, global currency praying. We all take your assault personally and stand with you. Let's see if someone, word, very, okay. So no one's on here talking that rat-ish or whatever. Too many people reported that one person did that. I'm sorry it happened to you. Yeah, like I haven't been fully up on this story. I was aware that he was assaulted and in rough shape, but it's good to see he's recovering, man. You see he's talking about weapons and pistols and all that over his own property, man. Did y'all see that being reported, that it was more than one person? Or I'm sorry, that it was just one person? Comment and let me know. Love you, Buck. We are all connected. We are with you. We love you, Buck. Salute my brother. Speedy recovery, champion. Love you, family. And Box Cutter Pazzi, may Allah grant you Shifa and keep you protected. This is Vibe here. See what they were reporting on originally. According to reports, Buckshot was assaulted last Thursday, October 31st, so Halloween, in Flatbush, Brooklyn. In a graphic clip that was shared on social media, the bloodied and bruised rapper can be seen hunched over on the ground following the attack. I definitely ain't going to be sharing that in this video, you know what I mean? It's, for one, against the community guidelines, but two, in poor taste. I mean, so I don't know, comment what y'all think about that. Sometimes people feel that there can be some gain in things like that being put out into media because it can like show the youth like the seriousness of things. You know what I mean? That's something that I talk about a lot, and it's always been an ongoing problem from forever, where cats get caught up in the street and don't know what it is, don't know they're not really about that life until they find out the hard way, you feel me? But it's even like more wild in this blogosphere era, right? Where like I keep saying, like it's just different, you know what I mean? Like the era of people that grew up with smartphones and devices, the internet, and like then they were there and were like, oh ish, and it took time for us to adjust to it. You got these individuals that's just how life always was, and it's literally changed the mentality of a lot of individuals, society, the way people grow up. Parenting is so challenging, being a parent, you know what I mean? Even if you have parental controls and all that, like the youth be finding ways around that and everything, you know what I'm saying? So that's just a debate that sometimes individuals feel that there can be lesson learned from that, but I don't know. I ain't sharing it. You know what I mean? But comment with your thoughts about that. It says, at one point, Buckshot asked for someone to call an ambulance, with the bystander informing him that paramedics were on the way to the scene. A native of Brooklyn, Buckshot made his debut alongside Black Moon on their '93 album Enter the Stage, which produced the hit singles How Many MCs, Buck 'Em Down remix, and I Got Ya Open. That's when Eminem said that. That was on a remix version, right? Or like he redid Don't Front. You know I got you open, kid. Don't front on that's where he said I almost got signed to Duck Down. And Eminem used to collaborate with rawkus records too. He was on the Sound Bombing. Remember that? Any man that'd jump in front of a minivan for 50 grand or whatever is fucking crazy. But that was dope to see him and Buckshot on there. I think Buckshot spit on that track as well. And you know, Buck recognized Eminem, you know, as a real MC, and that means a lot. You know what I mean, to Eminem. You know what I mean, and fans of Eminem. There's always that debate about him. This video ain't about Eminem, so we ain't gonna go all the way there. You know what I mean? But I was just pointing that out earlier in the video, so I thought I'd reference it here. But I just forget what album that was. Was that I think that was the Marshall Mathers LP too. I think it was on the bonus version. The founder of the Boot Camp Clique, which introduces acts including Smith & Wesson, Helter Skelter, OGC, and more. Buckshot teamed up with longtime business partner Drew Ha to launch Duck Down Records during the mid-'90s, which became one of the premier indie labels in hip-hop. And they really, man, they had a lot of talent there. Black Rob ended up signing to Duck Down for a little while after Bad Boy, man, R.I.P. Black Rob. But there you have it, man. Buckshot's getting better. He wants to see a safer New York. And it was cool, too, to see no one in the comments talking this snitch-ish and all that. You know what I mean? Like, that's that street-level mentality. You know what I mean? Like, some cats living that life, those rules apply to them, right? But, you know, even some cats I know that are in the streets, like, you know, because I've been around, like I say, I'm a square, I'm an internet nerd. I'll call the law if I got to. If someone breaks in my house, I'm calling the police. I have no shame in my game with it. You know what I mean? But I've been outside. I've been around the block a little bit. You know what I mean? And what I'm saying is, cats that I knew that were getting money or different things like that, there was a lot of them that even they were active about that life, abiding by those rules, they would still recognize like that's not like in life I'm going to elevate beyond this. This is short term. You know what I mean? Because that's another thing about the streets is there's no happy endings really. I always say it's just like what they say in NA or AA, right? It leads to jails, institutions, and death more often than not. You know what I mean? The only typically happy ending in the streets, which is very rare, is someone getting a bag in the streets and investing it in something else and hoping the feds don't find out, right? And getting out of that. You keep one foot in the streets, even if you're being legitimate, you know, like we see people catch cases or whatever. It's not a long-term thing. It's not the way to live. And, you know, it's like hip hop is like poetry and reports on the streets and different things that a lot of America doesn't see. But it doesn't mean that just because it's hip hop, it's got to be some street-ish like that. You know what I mean? That's an ignorant stereotype, man. But good to hear Buckshot's doing better. Attacked on Halloween, property dispute. That is wild, man. Comment. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you rocked with Duck Down. You know, that type of hip hop, everything we talked about on this video. As always, if you're new to the channel, it's all about hearing from the people over here. So tap in, let's talk, subscribe, and I will catch you on the next one. Peace, God bless, and have a productive day, y'all. I'm out of here.